cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the #1 podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. Welcome, fellas, to another True Tuesday episode. Man, I can remember back in the day when I was a teenager or adolescent, every now and again I would see on the news them speaking or talking about a childhood genius. And I don't really recall hearing or seeing much of that, as I've grown older. And I just happened to see a story a couple of weeks ago about this childhood genius. Actually, he's actually known for becoming one of the youngest high school graduates in the U.S. Yeah. His name is David Balogun, and his parents are Henry and Rania Balogun. I'm gonna spell this last name because I think I'm fucking it up, but it's B as in boy, Alogun is the last name. And this young man, again, has been recognized as being a genius, and his parents actually detected his intelligence at a early age of 6. And in doing so, they felt that, the traditional schooling wouldn't benefit him. Mm-hmm. So they embraced a different perspective on parenting, acknowledging the need for adaptability and unconventional thinking. I can't remember which one was it. It was either his mother or father that said, don't change the system. Don't change the child, change the system. Yeah. And me being a parent and thinking about that statement, man, because I look back and think at how I tried to raise my kids, and it was totally different from Henry and Rania's parenting methods. And granted, no one is given a book on how to parent. We all pretty much do it based on trial by error. Right. Mm-hmm. So again, they chose an innovative parenting technique, which pretty much helped, I would want to say, David's learning abilities and help enhance and strengthen them, I would think. One of the things that they did was they how kids can always have questions on certain things at a certain age. Why does this happen? Why does that happen? Who is this? Who is that? They constantly have those questions, and as a parent, it could be frustrating depending on what you're dealing with and going on at the time. Right. However, Henry and Rania actually entertained his questions that he had instead of ignoring them or shooing them on, which I think was very pivotal and important, in his upbringing. I think they also ended up enrolling him in this individualized education plan, and it transitioned him to an online learning platform which reached cyber during the pandemic. Now, we all are parents here on this panel, and I don't know, when you have a child and they do things, you're extremely proud of that child, and you speak very highly of your kids when they're young. And I know I've heard my ex-wife and the mother of two of my kids mention how, she spoke very highly, and sometimes we as parents can speak too high of our kids and put them on a very high pedestal. Right. Even before we've established or recognized a skill or a talent that they may have. Yeah. Well, again, with David's parents recognizing his at a very early age and taking advantage of how he he chose, how he learned or was educated versus letting the system do it, which is, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there and say majority of us, all four of us done, pretty much let the system
teach
work and try to let the system work for us. And that could be a very huge and big difference on the success of our kids. I'm not saying it's not effective. I mean, because it's worked for many years, but to recognize what your child's skill or talent may be is not easy to detect. When you got a lot of things going on in life. Period. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have any stories where you may have thought, hey, my child is I can see them, they're advanced at this, that. Did you see anything special that your child may have possessed at an early age that where you may have thought that, they would have been either a hell of an athlete or a musician, anything of those natures, anything of that nature?
I think, now, first let me say this. When they were born, I was just happy that they had their 10 toes and 10 fingers.
Yeah.
However, my youngest daughter stood out slightly because she had this vocal ability in singing, man, and I was like, man, we really can utilize, what you sound like. I mean, this girl was just a natural, man. Although we never pursued a career in that, well, I never did, because I always wanted to give her her own space at what she wanted to become in life,
Right.
But now, so what I think that I'm doing, because she has 2 kids now, so my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, I'm looking for her to have that same trait, because the reason what I'm looking at now within my granddaughter is her voice that she talks in. You know what I'm saying? Her talking voice is kind of a real smooth. I'm like, okay, she's real, she pronunciates her words properly, really, really good. So I'm thinking she may take on that same, singing trait from her mom, although she'll look at the little kids shows and she'll sing, all the little music that the little kids shows have. But still, I think it's going to take a little bit of time to see if that's something that, she's going to be able to do really, really well. And if she does, then, I'll say, yeah, let's do it. I'll take that on.
And how old is she?
She's 4 right now.
So can you see, let's say in about 3 years, if you, and I know you take your music very strong.
Yeah.
Can you see yourself bringing her in while you're fooling around?
Yeah.
With?
So and we've done this. So I would be, just at home, kind of playing around on the keyboard, and she'll be doing something completely different, and I'll put the headphones on and she can't hear nothing. But then once she get interested, she'll come over there and she'll hear the sound come out of the little key or whatever she pressed.
Right.
And it's like she takes over then. I have to get up, at that point, because she's not going nowhere, which is good. And it made me buy her a keyboard for her birthday,
It's a great idea.
That way, that'll be one way that I can see, if this is something that she's interested in.
And if she's actually picking it up.
Right, if she's actually picking it up. But I know that because I'm doing it at the time, it kind of inspires her.
Right.
But if she's not inspired on her own,
then you know this is not.
Then I know that's not
yeah.
exactly.
How about you, Comedian 96?
I honestly think that a lot of us as parents, if your son or daughter start talking early, say 1, and giving 1.5, going on 2, giving complete sentences, we already automatically assume they finna be smart. And we've seen that a lot, and again, just like Slash say, they may just be in the room singing, "I love you,"
right.
And you be like, "Man, my daughter's singing that good, got a little voice they carry," and we'll be like, "Oh, she gonna be a singer. That's gonna be my little singer, or that's gonna be my little actor," just by the things that they do and how they move around the house. Yeah, I made that assumption about my daughter. I thought my daughter was going to be an actor. So I guess it's that little space and time.
So what made you think your daughter was going to be an actor?
Huh?
What made you think your daughter was going to be an actress?
She was animated, very animated.
And everything, a lot of things that she did.
6 and 8, yeah. So like how I be animated right now.
Yeah, she got it honestly.
Animal, unanimated animal. Okay, I've just put those together right now. so that's what made me think that she would be something special at that age. So
I got you. What about you, Freddie G? Did you see anything at an early age in any of your kids, or you?
Well,
I thought
it's more so their drive at whatever they wanted to do, and so it was kind of broad. But whatever they wanted to do, I just made sure that that I pushed it to the max when I verbally.
Right.
And using the right choice of words to encourage them, to make them think that they can jump over the moon if they had to. So it was just their drive. When they took an interest in something, okay, this is the interest you've taken in, okay, now look at everybody around. And there's a saying, and they both listen to the show. So let me say this, there's a saying. We always, it was a joke, I would tell them, whatever you do, just make sure you don't come in butt naked last. Beat somebody. Right. And so to keep that healthy competition, even if it's in the classroom. Hey, pick you out somebody in this class, in this math class, that whatever you do, don't you just outdo that person over there. They don't know you're in competition, and that keeps the drive going. So it was more so their drive, but so once I seen they start taking interest in certain things, just give them that extra little push that they need, even when they get tired. Yeah. When they get tired and they want to quit.
It takes that.
Just that little extra push.
Now, you just mentioned when they want to quit, what? Would you allow them to quit?
No, because they've actually took interest in whatever they're doing. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, it's a two-way street dealing with me and their mom. So it's a two-way street. Mom may make a point to be like, no, I don't think they should continue, and here's why. And if that's the case and I can see it, then okay, hey, let me word this in such a way to where it doesn't look like they're actually quitting. Let's kind of fix it to where we can get the max out of what we need. So it's a give or take.
Now, you said something just now that I feel is extremely important, especially if you're in a two-parent household. I feel like both parents definitely have to be on board where those children are concerned, and if one parent sees this gift, I think it's important for that other parent to also see that same gift or be convinced somehow, some way that this child is gifted, in order for them to also offer that support. Because if you're blinded to something that you can't see or understand, then how can you really support it?
I don't think you have to be in the same household.
No, I'm not saying you have to be in the same household.
It's communication.
Yeah, well, you're correct. Correct.
If you don't live in the same household with your kid, but you have a great relationship communication-wise with the parent, with mom, for an example, mom sees the kid every single day, right, all the time, and that kid may express some things to mom that he or she is not expressing to you.
Right.
Not that they're trying to hide something from you. It's just that they don't see you every day. It may slip their mind or whatever. But mom, once that kid expresses it to mom, when you and mom communicate. Now, of course, we're speaking of younger,
right,
growing up. When you and mom communicate, mom may be like, "Hey, by the way, such and such said they don't like this because X, Y, and Z," and then you can talk it out and figure it out. So. Again, the answer to your question as a whole, man, it's drive. No matter what they did, I could see the drive in them. Right. I could see it. And no matter what it was, and once it was there, I believe that's that extra push. One other thing before I let it move on. I know that my daughter looked at her brother, and this came out of her mouth in college when her brother decided to get his MBA. And I'm like, okay, well, he ain't gonna outdo me. I'm gonna get mine too.
That sibling rivalry.
That's that
drive.
Don't come in butt naked last.
Yeah.
Be somebody.
That's what's up.
So, but yeah, so it's
Yeah, and that
But it's
sibling,
healthy. It's healthy and it's cool.
I think
It ain't
sibling
no-
rivalry is definitely healthy, you know, because it teaches them to
Yeah.
push each other if they don't have that parent.
He helps out with her too,
That's what's
so
up.
he really does his part as a big brother. So.
That's what's up, man. With my kids, I was told at when my daughter was in elementary, actually, that she was going to be a pretty good basketball player. Now, at that time, I didn't see it because I had never seen my daughter with a basketball. I knew she was pretty tall for her age, so I can remember in elementary she had it was something like a field day, and they had a lot of track events, and she was dusting their ass in all the track events. So I'm thinking, okay, she gonna be a track star.
Yeah.
But still, I'm not seeing this basketball talent that I'm hearing from everybody else. You know, at the Boys and Girls Club, and the coach. She had a coach at her school. He was called coach in elementary, and you know he's coming to me, you know, pretty much praising her and saying how decent she was. So when she got to middle school, I was able to observe this ball handling skill that my daughter had, which was much better than mine. Yeah. And then when I actually saw her in an actual game and saw the court vision that she had at an early age, I'm like, okay, she got something here. So I thought that, you know, she definitely had a chance, you know, to possibly play in the WNBA, especially with it being young,
Right.
As it was in the timing of her, you know, growing up. I thought it would have been perfect timing for her to excel, but you know, it didn't work out that way for whatever reason. But I also, whenever my kids started something, you know, I wouldn't allow them to quit it. You know, if you started it, you had to finish it.
Exactly.
Now, if you chose not to participate the following year or whatnot, then that's okay. But you know, once you started something, you definitely had to finish it. And I wish I had mentioned that. Don't come in butt naked, lad. Don't come in. I wish I had that statement to give to her.
You have girls, K-Man?
I have 2 boys and a girl.
2 boys and a girl. So now, you know, I know my girls, they change activities weekly or monthly. First they want to be a cheerleader. Now she wants to do soccer. Now she wants to do basketball.
No,
I had that like month after month after month. So it was like, how do you make them stay in something if their mind is changed?
You can't. You can't make them.
You got to give them their own space to decide.
Yeah, they got to find themselves.
Because they the only ones know what they really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think when they show interest like that, you want to support them and allow them to participate and let them find out that this is not what I want to do.
Yeah. But it's discouraging when you go, I'm going to go to my girl soccer game next week. Daddy, I want to be a cheerleader.
Yeah, I can understand that. But no, my daughter had that passion though. It was pretty much basketball. And then when she got to high school, she tried band, but she still was trying to do basketball. And of course, you can't do both. So it kind of conflicted with, you know, her doing the basketball.
Hey, with that butt naked lad, let me show you how it come back to bite me. When we be playing, like if I'm playing some kind of game or whatever it is with both of them, and I lose, they call me naked butt.
Yeah, back in your face, huh?
You came in naked.
Hey, let me ask y'all this: do y'all? I know I do this. Do y'all intentionally lose games just to give your kids?
No.
Wait, just to give your kids confidence?
No.
Man, look, that competitive bug that's in me is serious.
I don't know. I give my kids confidence because I don't like that sad face on their.
Man, check this.
Check
this out.
Yeah. I think it builds character to see how it feels to win.
Well, that's not that's the world not gonna treat them like that.
Yeah.
The world gonna win for real every time.
You got to be a good
They ain't
loser
gonna
to
give
be
them
able to enjoy winning.
But I don't want you to keep losing to me and you don't know what, and you just give up in life. I want you to feel like I might beat you, and then probably 7th, 8th game down the way, I'm gonna intentionally.
Let me show you something.
Lose this one.
If you after beating them so many times, man, and they interested in that game, eventually they're gonna beat you.
Yeah, I'm a victim
eventually, of that. They're gonna beat you.
I'm a victim of that.
Man, my son ran track, right? In addition to playing football. So when my son was maybe like in middle school, we was at the carnival. I took all the kids. We was at the carnival, and we was coming down the sidewalk, walking to the car, and we get the idea. Okay, let's race.
Yeah.
My son was just in middle school. No, he probably about middle school, 6th grade maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
And we was running, and my legs were a little bit longer, and I kind of pulled a hamstring a little bit, and I literally like just probably barely beat him. But that was only because my legs were longer. That's it. I ain't never give him no action at it again. Because that joker ended up being fast as hell. He ran track in college for a little bit, but I ain't never give him no action no more again.
Because
he was already.
He'd have beat you that next time.
Of course.
That's what the kids give me. You know, I don't know how many countless kids make me.
Hey, look, and if he listen, I done let the cat out the bag.
I don't know how many countless cats and countless kids that made me cry playing them video games, trying to play Mortal Kombat, and they beat the shit out of me and we didn't get a chance to throw a punch. I can't compete with the kids on that, but that's the only thing that the kids are beating me on is those damn
video games.
Yeah, there's too many damn buttons. IJKL _ under the bottom, and I ain't got time for all that.
Back to the Bullagons, despite David's academic accomplishments, his parents recognize that there is no universal parenting manual, which is something I mentioned earlier. Nobody really know how the correct way to parent or the right and wrong way, if there is a right and wrong way. Well, the wrong way is to abuse your kids. Right. There is no certified method or way to raise your child because each child is different. So in doing so, they stress the importance of avoiding pressure on David to conform to typical social norms. Instead, she embraced his introverted nature, understanding the challenges gifted children encounter, and finding peers who share their same interest. So I guess, they found an environment of kids that are like David or that was like their child, which made him feel more comfortable, I would think. And that too would make him excel, better. Because I can imagine, if you put in a child that has a mind like David's in a regular classroom, he could feel out of place, kind of like Cyrus being a mutant, being around us. Right. He feels out of place,
There we go.
I can imagine, he felt out of place. So I think that's another smart thing, putting him around peers.
Right.
That's like him.
That's like, yeah. That's kind of like on X-Men, those kids, they had to put them all around each other with the special talents,
Right. It makes sense.
Now, that, could you imagine being a normal human with a mutant child that has some sort of special ability, super ability? I'm
amazing like that. Don't worry about it.
Your special ability is getting on motherfuckers' nerves.
Get on the nerves, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. Hey, well, David is currently enrolled at Southern New Hampshire University, where he secured a full tuition scholarship to pursue a bachelor's and master's degree in computer science and IT. He holds this distinction of being the youngest student in the Intuition's 90-year history. So shout out to David Balogun for being a childhood genius, and for those that are wondering, David is Afro-American. Y'all come back and join us next week, man. Peace out. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Sky Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Sky Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Sky faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.